Hey guys, in this video we are going to be talking about oncogenes and how it relates to cancer. What are oncogenes? The word oncogene stems from onco, which is a mass or bulk, and gene, which is a DNA segment. So oncogenes are basically genes that cause cancer. Now to better understand this, we can look at the cell cycle. A normal cell can be at rest at the G0 phase, then it enters the cell cycle. The first phase of the cell cycle is known as the G1 phase, which is a growth phase. In this phase, the cell's organelles, the specialized structures of the cell, duplicate. After the G1 phase is the S phase, which is also known as the synthesis phase, where the genetic material, the DNA of the cell, duplicates. The cell then enters the G2 phase, where the cell grows again in preparation for the next phase, the M phase. The M phase is also known as mitosis, where the cell divides into two daughter cells. The cell cycle looks like it's a continuous cycle. However, at the end of G1 and G2, there are control points known as the G1 and G2 checkpoints. In the G1 checkpoint, the cell checks for any DNA damage. And in the G2 checkpoint, the cell takes one final check for any DNA damage or cell damage before cell division. If the cell fails at the checkpoints, the cell goes back to the G0 phase to repair the DNA. However, if the damage is irreversible, the cell can self-destruct through the process of apoptosis. But if the cell gets the go-ahead at the checkpoints, it can enter mitosis, and it divides into two identical daughter cells. The daughter cells can either enter the cycle again or go back into rest, the G0 phase. But what drives the cell through the cell cycle? When the cells need to divide, proto-oncogenes encode for the proteins that are necessary for cell division. Proto-oncogenes are normal genes within the cell that regulate the cell cycle. They're only active when the cell needs to grow and divide, like when you only push the accelerator pedal in a car when you want to speed up. Now, how is this related to oncogenes? If we take a look at a normal cell and look closely at the genetic material, the DNA, we can see that there can be mutations in the DNA which can cause the cell to change. Some mutations include point mutations, where there's a single change in the nucleotide, the building block of the DNA, or there can be a translocation mutation where the genetic material attaches to the wrong place, or there can be DNA amplification, where a certain gene gets amplified so many times. So as you can see, such mutations can really change a cell, and could even turn proto-oncogenes into oncogenes. When a gene is an oncogene, it gets overexpressed and the cells divide uncontrollably, which would be like putting a brick on a gas pedal and falling asleep on the highway. It's just uncontrolled mess. In summary, oncogenes are mutated versions of proto-oncogenes, which are normal genes that drive the cell cycle. The presence of oncogene results in uncontrolled cell growth, which contributes to the development of cancer. Thank you for watching.